Hey, thanks for joining me today on this solemn April 27th, 2023. Yeah, my name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. And as always, I'm streaming live, rumble.com/coffeeandnuance/live. Today, we're talking about legend Jerry Springer. So we're going to pay tribute to this giant, this legend of television, a pioneer of trash talk, a man who made us laugh, cry, and cringe for 20 years. Yeah, I'm talking about the one and only Jerry Springer, who passed away last week at the age of 79. Jerry. We'll miss you. Jerry Springer Show debuted in 1991. It started as a serious show, but soon it became a circus of freaks and geeks where guests would reveal their shocking secrets, fight each other on stage. It was trashy. It was vulgar. It was hilarious. It was also wildly popular. At its peak, it had over 10 million viewers and beat Oprah in the ratings. It also spawned countless spin-offs and imitators. Jerry Springer was the ringmaster of madness. He would introduce the guests with witty one-liners and sit back and watch the chaos unfold. He would occasionally intervene to break up the fights and offer some advice. But mostly he'd just smile and nod along with the audience chanting his name. He was the voice of reason in a sea of insanity. Jerry Springer was a phenomenon. He changed the face of television and the way we talk about ourselves. He gave us entertainment, enlightenment. He showed us the best and the worst of humanity. He made us laugh at ourselves and each other. He made us think about our own lives and choices. He made us realize that we're all flawed and we're all worthy of love. So today, we salute you, Jerry Springer. You're a legend, a hero, king of trash TV. You were the real deal. Take care of yourself and each other. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee and Nuance Show. Best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. So, yes, sad news today. Famed talk show host Jerry Springer passed away at the age of 79. He was a controversial figure, and he was battling pancreatic cancer for a few months. He passed away peacefully at his Chicago home. Springer was known for his ability to connect with people and had a successful career in politics, broadcasting, and the host of the popular Jerry Springer Show, which aired from 1991 to 2018. He also hosted the Jerry Springer podcast, The Judge Jerry, which aired for 3 seasons. He's survived by his daughter, Katie, and his older sister, Evelyn. So this was really, really something. Jerry Springer really changed the country, changed how he kind of gave a voice to people that didn't have a voice before. And yes, it was not the most civilized, but this was a group of people that up until then, the media pretended like they didn't exist. You know, this was the trashier element of society on the fringes, but people that we could relate to, and people, and so I don't think that kids today really understand, because, you know, there's all this stuff where you can see nonsense everywhere on the internet, on TikTok, on Twitter, on everything like that. Before Jerry Springer, you didn't see all this trashy stuff. So in the end, was this a positive thing? A negative thing? Could be a bit of both. I have mixed feelings about Jerry Springer, but he was a legend. And one thing that I personally appreciate about him is that at the end, he had a positive message. And he said, take care of yourself and each other. And I think that that's missing today. That's missing in today's society, where we get a positive message or affirmation. Most of the time, it's just like, look at these idiots. Look at how dumb they are. Look at this garbage, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. But to have a little positivity at the end, I think was inspirational. I always appreciated that about Jerry Springer. I'd like to know what you think about, if you have any memories of Jerry Springer. Let me know in the comments. And as always, I will be going through all of your comments in the after show. That's after I play the outro music. I'll go through and read all your comments on Rumble and on YouTube. So stick around for that, if that's your thing. If you don't want to stick around, you can just hit the like button right now, or the dislike button. I guess I don't care. But I would like, but if you are watching this, I would appreciate it if you could give some kind of sign that you watched this. Leave a comment. It would mean something to me, and I appreciate you for that. We have an interesting show. I got a number of stories to get to today, and a couple of updates on stories that I've talked about in the last couple of weeks. So the first of those is coming up right now. Pras Michel of the Fugees, Grammy Award-winning musician. He was convicted of 10 counts by the federal court in Washington, D.C. The charges included conspiracy, witness tampering, and failing to register as an agent of China. Michel, a member of the Fugees, was accused of using illegal foreign money to buy seats for people at fundraisers for then-President Barack Obama. Michel was also accused of trying to influence 2 U.S. presidential administrations and collecting around $100 million from a Malaysian billionaire accused of stealing $4 billion from a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund. Leonardo DiCaprio, who starred in a movie funded by the same billionaire, testified at the trial. Michel faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, and his attorney has vowed to appeal. So I did talk about this last week, maybe the week before. The musician, Pras, right? At one time, he was one of the biggest musical superstars of the day. I'm thinking like 97, they were really taking off. That hit Ghetto Superstar was kind of the song of the summer, I think, at the time. But this is something. This is something. I guess you don't mess around with the funding of elections. They're going to make you pay. I think that this would probably be a much bigger story if he were trying to funnel money to Donald Trump. Probably be front page news. Probably be everywhere. But because it had to do with illegal contributions to the Obama campaign, we're not hearing a whole lot about this story. Makes you wonder why, But whatever. It is what it is. But we can't expect to have fairness in the media. Yeah. But let me know what you're about to... Let me know what you think about that. And have a sip of coffee, too. All right. Next story. In Kenya, a cult leader told his followers the world would end on April 15th and instructed them to starve themselves to be the first to go to heaven. 89 followers of the Good News International Church have died, and the Kenyan Red Cross says over 300 people are reported missing. The cult leader, Paul Mackenzie, has been in police custody since April 14th, and authorities have recovered 81 bodies from shallow graves. The toll is expected to rise further, and the deaths amount to one of the worst cult-related tragedies in recent history. So we haven't had any of these massive death cult incidents in quite a while. I think the last one that I can remember was where they all had the matching Nikes, right? They were waiting for something around Halley's Comet, right? I think it was going to be the end of the world. Back in the 70s, I guess it was Jim Jones drinking the Kool-Aid, right? We know that expression. That's where that came from. But another death cult, this time in Kenya. Kenya is, of course, East Africa, kind of right out there near the edge, I guess. Crazy. I don't have a lot to say about that, but that's what happens when you get wrapped up in a cult. Seems that there's a lot of cultish behavior in 2023. I might even suggest that there are some cultish behavior in the media and certain political ideologies, but I don't think you're going to have the same outcome of having people starve themselves to death about that. So, rather sad. But let's get to some more tragedy. Sad news today. The white woman who accused black teenager Emmett Till of making improper advances before he was lynched in Mississippi in 1955 has passed away. Carolyn Bryant Donham was 88 years old. He died in hospice care in Louisiana on Tuesday. Till's brutal murder became a catalyst for the civil rights movement when his mother insisted on an open casket funeral in their hometown of Chicago. Donham accused Till of making improper advances on her, which led to his kidnapping and killing. So, talking about these stories is not something that I like to do. It's not my bag, man. But I'm going to make a suggestion to you today about this particular story and what you hear about it from the press, okay? I am just going to suggest that nearly everything that is said about this case does not match the historical records. You know, you can actually read the court transcript from this case if you wanted to. Now, no one seems to bother. I mean, people don't read the entire article, right? We read headlines, we read tweets. That's what we do. We don't actually look into things. But the narrative around this particular story is wildly different than the historical accounts of this. I'm not making any suggestions. I'm just saying to keep that in mind when you hear about this today, because there are a lot of things being said about this woman that are frankly not true. There are a lot of things that are being said about the Emmett Till case that is very selective in what they are telling you, half-truths. And a half-truth is a whole lie, in my opinion. You know. He didn't just whistle, which is what we hear, right? There was a lot more to it than that. and there was a lot of really graphic stuff. You can read the court transcript and find out about it. And you can also find out about the people that were accused of killing him. And often when it's reported, they only mention some of the people that were accused of killing Emmett Till, but not all of them. Okay. Did you know that the group of people that lynched him were both black and white? Yeah. But we don't hear about that when this is talked about, because this particular case was used, it was used to advance the civil rights movement. Now, I think that you can, everybody is in favor of advancing the civil rights movement, and often they take liberties with stories to craft a narrative for political reasons. And that's what happened in this particular case. I don't want to go through a 2-hour debunking of the narrative that you're hearing in the news today, but because that's not really my thing. It saddens me how much lies there are put out about things, and I think that I'm one of those people that really kind of insist on the truth and what's backed by facts, things like that. And if this is the first time that you've heard a contrary story about this case, then I just wanted to introduce to you that there may be more to this story than they're telling you. I don't want to die on this hill, right? This isn't the kind of content that I want to make the channel about. But because of this news today, I just wanted to draw your attention to how it's being covered and what people are saying about this woman is frankly not based in any kind of reality. It all has to do with mind reading, and I don't think mind reading should be in the news, Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Let's get to some good news, shall we? Some good news to pull us through. U.S. health officials have approved a new pill from Ceres Therapeutics made from healthy bacteria found in human waste to fight gut infections. The treatment is a simpler, more rigorously tested version of stool-based procedures used to help patients. The capsules are cleared from adults over 18 who face risks from repeat infections with Clostridium difficile, a bacteria that can cause severe nausea, cramping, and diarrhea. The new option is expected to decrease demand for donations from stool banks, although some, such as Open Biome, plan to stay open. Ceres will co-market the treatment with Nestle and receive a $125 million milestone payment from the food giant. Now, why is this good news, and why are you talking about this? Have you even heard about fecal transplants? I know it sounds really gross, right? I had a friend that actually did one of these transplants. It sounds crazy, but what happens is, my understanding of it is, in their insides, it's out of whack, and in their large intestine, I think, and they can kill it with bacteria, with antibiotics, but when they kill it with the antibiotics, it just makes everything worse. And so you need some healthy poop, I guess, in there to spread around to kind of reset your system. And so in the past, what they were doing was, it sounds really gross, but they would take a sample from someone else, liquefy it, and then put it up the other person in hopes to kind of reset their system. Really gross, and it was very expensive to do. And so this is really good news for anyone that is suffering from that. If their system is not working properly, I think taking a pill would be a lot more affordable and a lot less gross than what has been the alternative up until now. So that's why I think it's good news. I think it's real good news. And I always like to try to give you a positive story to go out on. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you in the after show. Peace. There we go. We're in the after show. Thanks for joining, everybody. What's up, Duggo, over on Rumble? Tobias is here. Gross Tom, I'm eating. Well, I apologize. I probably should have said something. I'm drinking as well, so. But, you know, sometimes I need to bring you the good news, and sometimes the good news is gross. Now, most people, it doesn't affect them at all. But if you know somebody that is suffering with this, I think it can be a life changer. So that's why I wanted to share it with you today. Let's see what is happening. I have, so now, after yesterday's fiasco of, I have the stream health. I'm looking at the exact delay that's happening. I have, my stream is healthy. I have over here, I have live feeds of both YouTube and Rumble, so I can make sure that they're always moving. So I'm trying, right? I'm trying to monitor this better, and because yesterday I edited the two parts together and I posted them, and pretty much saw nothing. Got like 12 views on Rumble, and the day before we got like 600. So that didn't work very well. But let's look at what's happening today. If not for Jerry, we wouldn't know what trailer parks are, said Lucid Moments of Reality. Yes, he did seem to concentrate on the people that were not necessarily being represented in the media at the time. That included a lot of very poor people. Without Jerry, I wouldn't know who my father is, says Apothecary John. Well, I'm glad you found out who your dad is. So thanks for Jerry on that. I'm all melancholic from making a YouTube playlist of 60s adult pop music my parents listened to when I was a kid. The songs all seem sad to me now. You know, that is a nice thing to do, put together a playlist. Isn't it an amazing time to be alive? You can just make a playlist and then listen to the playlist while you're doing chores or going about your day. I think it's amazing, and you don't have to go out and buy all of those songs. You can just stream them. Did TV only get worse because of him? Well, I don't know. You know, correlation does not equal causation. However, when you have a very popular show, what you get is you get a lot of knockoffs, right? When someone is popular, everyone copies it. Not everyone, but that's what they do. We had lots of knockoff Jerry Springers. But I think that, you know, the difference between Jerry Springer and the knockoffs is I really felt that Jerry Springer, by putting together this wacky show that they did, it really did kind of show people as they were. And, you know, those people that hadn't been represented in the media before, we hear a lot about representation these days, being able to see themselves on TV think is a good thing. There was a lot of, obviously, just gawking and, laughing at people's misery. But in the end, Jerry Springer always, had a nice thing to say at the end and a positive message. So I appreciate that. We are indeed our brother's keeper. Jerry was great, in my opinion. The Branch Davidians, I think, were the last cult to drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know that they did any Kool-Aid, but yes, the Branch Davidians, Waco. I don't think that was a cult that was killing themselves. I think that was a group that was killed by our government. So I don't think it was exactly the same. Someone took the indicators for cult behavior and lined them up with COVID policy. I think that some people might feel that way, for sure. It was Phil Donahue's show, then Sally Jesse Raphael. Yeah, there were lots of shows in that manner. This guy was more like Howard Stern, but on TV. True. He was a late night syndication insult guy. Okay. More to the story you don't say. I had a coworker who shot her boyfriend, and yes, there was more to the story. Yeah, there always is a little more to the story. Morton Downey's show. That's right. I remember that. Jerry and Maury did a format where the guests and audience did the trash talk instead of the host. I would agree with that. The stream is healthy. Yeah, the stream's been pretty good. Stream's been pretty good today. So it looks like we didn't get a whole lot of talk on these stories. Tobias says that coffee makes you poop, and I think that's true for some people. Although I drink so much coffee, I don't think it has the effect on me that it used to. And nuance makes you smart. I kind of agree with both of those sentiments. Anyway, it looks like we got the stream working well today, so that's cool. I will be back tomorrow with a Fact Check Friday. Hopefully another positive, healthy stream. Hope you all have a beautiful day. And I like the way Jerry ended his show. So take care of yourself and each other. Peace.